All right, my friend, this is Harris Lim. We are back at it, back to the 5 minute blueprint, to AdWords success for photographers. Ooh, that's a mouthful, huh? All right, let's get going. Let's do a quick recap, all right? So last time we talked about the goal of this course, get you started quickly, get you implementing quickly, right? And then we went through the getting started section. Hopefully you've done that. You've requested or you enter your information in the Google spreadsheet or Google Forms so that we can get you a request to access to your account. And then we also talk about the blueprint. All right. So for today, we're gonna talk about the blueprint parable. All right. So help you remember what it is, what the blueprint is. All right. And then we'll go through the key concept, the blueprint key concept number one. Alpha beta campaign structure, beta campaign purpose, and beta campaign best practices. All right. Consider the parable, the smart farmer who gathers his golden goose that lays the golden eggs. All right. Although at the back of your mind, you're probably thinking, I'm here to learn AdWords optimization. What the heck is Harris talking about a farmer gathering his golden goose, right? Very fair question. Bear with me here. Bear with me. All right. What is the purpose behind gathering the golden goose? All right. So the story behind the parable is that a smart farmer will gather all his golden goose. Golden goose are the ones that lay the golden eggs, right? So so the purpose is he wants to take care of them better. Maybe provide his goose better shelter, better food, better medicine, even protect them from predators, right? Or even the bad weather or whatever. He just wants to make sure the golden goose will keep on laying golden eggs, right, for a long, long time. That's the purpose. That's the purpose of the parable of the smart farmer who gathers his golden goose, right? The golden goose represents the keywords, right? And then in your Google AdWords account, right? And the golden eggs represents all the leads and customers that you're able to get from the keywords, right? And then the process of gathering and taking care of the goose is the blueprint, right? So you go through the process of finding the best goose that will lay the best leads, right? Golden egg, right? So that is the blueprint at a high level, right? Okay. So let's go through the next screen here. So we start off creating two campaigns in your Google AdWords account, the alpha and the beta campaign, right? These campaigns are identical in terms of campaign configuration. Maybe the location are identical, the scheduling, and every other mini little configuration that AdWords allows you to do on the campaign level, they're identical, right? The main difference is that they hold different ad groups, right? The beta holds test ad groups, and the alpha holds proven keywords. All right. Again, let me say that again. The main difference is the beta holds the test ad groups, and the alpha holds the proven keywords, right? And the process we would like to implement in your account is to move beta converting keywords to the alpha campaign, right? Converting keywords meaning they had generated at least 2 leads in your account. We chosen 2 leads because we find that sometimes one-off conversions are possible, but and then they end up with no conversions at all. So 2 leads is the key item to say that okay, a keyword will hopefully generate again if it had already 2 leads in the past, right? Sometimes we do 3 leads per keyword, then we move them to alpha. But I think 2 is good enough. So we'll teach you to use 2 for now, and then later on, if you want to do 3, you can, no problem there, right? So the purpose here is so that over time we would be able to collect more and more converting keywords, whereas it allows us to lower the budget of our beta campaign and increase the budget of our alpha campaign that will hold all our converting keywords from the past, right? So here's a pro tip. You need to make sure you have conversion tracking in place. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to automate our automation or our optimization. I'm sorry. At this point, I would also recommend you include Google Analytics as well as your FB pixels on your landing page and your thank you pages, right? So we can get this tracking for you, so just to get ready for future promotions like remarketing strategies, both on Google properties and Facebook properties, right? So make sure you include that, even though you don't think you want to do any other remarketing or Facebook, marketing in the future, it's good to have them because it'll just accumulate data. And then suddenly when you decide to want it and have it, you have it there, right? So I recommend you do that, all right? So the second pro tip is that, you create your beta campaign, set it up as much as possible and then copy that to make your alpha campaign, all right? So that's the second pro tip, all right? Let's dig deeper a little bit with the beta campaign, all right? So we want to talk a little bit about the purpose of the beta campaign. So let's dig deeper into that. So definitely we want to use the beta campaign to test keywords, see if they'll generate real leads for us or not. We want to keep the good keywords and move them to our alpha campaign and remove the bad ones as well. Whether they are irrelevant keywords or maybe they are keywords that are relevant but just plain expensive, all right? We also use the alpha beta campaign structure to control budget, control how much we spend. We set aside a certain amount of budget for the beta campaign for testing purposes. As we get more and more leads and move more and more keywords to the alpha campaign, we can eventually lower the budget of our beta campaign, right? In theory, your beta campaign cost per lead will be, the most expensive. But as you move more and more keywords to the alpha campaign, your overall account cost per lead should go down, as you continue to move the move process, all right? This is also where you will add more and more keywords, perhaps similar keywords of the same service, or you are trying to sell or even branch out, to other services that you would like to sell, right? This is where you'll keep adding new ad groups and keywords, all right? So how about the beta campaign structure, here within the beta campaign structure, we only use modified broad keywords, phrase keywords, and exact keywords. For each keyword we use in the beta campaign, we will start off with all three match types, all right? Do note the broad match type here is the modified broad, meaning you have to have a plus symbol in front of each keyword, modified broad keyword, that is. Okay, I'll show you an example a little later, all right? Okay, you can also have multiple beta campaigns. Perhaps you want to dedicate a small budget for one of your services and allocate a larger budget for another one, right? So maybe wedding photography, you want more budget on that, and then maybe your newborn or baby photography, you want to allocate smaller budget for that, right? All right. For each ad group in your beta campaign, be sure to have 2 ads for split testing, all right? I recommend that whenever possible, have only 2 ads in your entire account across different ad groups and campaigns, right? And then you tag each ad accordingly with an ad label. This will allow you to generate reports to see which ad works better in your account. So if you have 2 ads across account, of course you want to tag, the first one, similar, all of them. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but tag one as ad 1, ad label. Maybe the second one is an ad 2 label, right? And then you can generate reports later on to see which ad is doing better, right? All right. The next one is when creating ad groups, you want to make sure you have tightly grouped keywords in each ad group. This allows you to create ads that are specific for the keyword. Having the keyword as a headline or a title of your ad, this improves your overall quality score, of your account, by making sure it attracts more clicks and also improve the Google ad relevance score in your account, okay? Let me see. Next one is, okay, I'll show you exactly, how tightly grouped keywords are constructed within a Google AdWords account, all right? Here's an example of how to tightly group your keywords in your beta campaign, all right? say you provide all these services, wedding photography, maternity, and baby photography. So this is how you would group them together. You group all wedding related keywords into one particular wedding ad group, and then that's like the keywords like wedding photographer, wedding photography, wedding photography plus the location, and then the rest. Similarly, maternity, you group all of them together, and then baby or newborn photography, you group all those together. All right. In terms of the keywords, let me show you. Here's an example of what keywords and their match types you would want to add to your wedding ad group. Similarly, to your maternity and newborn ad groups as well, or baby photography ad groups. All right. Be sure to include all three match types of each keyword. For example, wedding photographer. The first one is the exact match type with the square brackets. The second one, the double quotes, is the phrase match type. And the third one, with the plus symbol in front of each keyword, is the modified broad match. All right. Yeah, you do this for all of your, like maternity or newborn, right? Okay, let me see here. Let's go to the next one. So now, here's a sample of ad for your wedding photography ad group. Headline one, can contain 30 characters, and it should contain your keyword as well. That will, if you include your keyword, it will increase your ad relevance, right? So here, the keyword with the curly bracket adapts your headline to the keywords in your ad group, as long as it can fit, into 30 characters, right? It also uses the wedding photographer as the default headline. So let's say you have a keyword in there that is really long, like wedding photographer, San Francisco, California, something like that. It won't fit 30 characters, so Google will use the default here, which is the wedding photographer as the default, okay? Also take note of the uppercase K and W. It'll make sure each first letter of your keyword will be in uppercase. So if your keyword in your ad group is wedding photography Atlanta and someone types in wedding photography Atlanta, this is what shows up. Wedding photography Atlanta, all the first letter, in caps, in uppercase, all right? Headline 2 can also have 30 characters. This is where you'll have something, that the customer want, or what the customer is looking for, what results they're looking for, all right? So maybe, for example, your wedding and style, we adapt. Instead of saying, they adapt, the bride and the groom adapt to our style, we adapt to their style, right? That's something that they're looking for. Something I need to remind myself of when writing ads. What matters to the customer, not really what matters to me, right? Another example is comes with two photographers. That matters to the bride and the groom, right? If there's two photographers, there's more coverage, right? So that's what they want, right? All right. Next one is the description. 80 characters. Should contain the benefit of your service, what's unique about it, what other photographers can provide, right? That you can, right? Something like talk to us for your desired custom look and feel, and we'll show you what we've done similar to your ideal style, something like that. Pick your package, pick your photos, pick your upgrades, customize to what you want, right? Or something like custom album, custom private cloud access forever, access your wedding photographs forever, right? Anyways, notice all the first letters of the words in the ad are uppercase. This makes it easier to read. This is based on Internet Marketing 101. I think Google I think in the past they had some study that the first letter of each word, if uppercase, will work better, right? So we'll adapt that, in our ads. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one then. Beta campaign setup. All right. Beta campaigns have the option to be split out into several smaller beta campaigns. There are several reasons for this. Maybe, you want different budgets for different beta campaigns. You could also have different target locations. Maybe you are willing to go farther. If you're promoting your wedding photography, right, or only your local neighborhood, if it's family portrait or newborn photography, right. The other one is different scheduling, right. Maybe a lot of people are browsing around noontime, and most people buy at night or something like that. So you can split your beta campaigns in different schedules, right? All right. Even device, phones versus computers, right? Google has something they call call only ads. Sometimes you want to try those too. If you try those and those work better, maybe you can separate your campaigns into different campaigns. A different budget for phones only and different budgets for computers, right? Like the phones is the call only ads, right? So there's something like that. Let's see. The next one is all right. The pro tip when setting up your beta campaign, all right? Definitely add all applicable ad extensions. Right? They will improve your ad rank. There are many different kinds of ad extensions, like site links, call extension, call out extension. They have different purposes. You can read up on them, but definitely if you add them, they'll improve your ad rank. That's one pro tip that I like to let you know. So another pro tip, is to change the ad rotation of your beta campaign to rotate indefinitely. Remember, I said earlier, to have 2 universal ads for your account. If you don't set up your ads to rotate indefinitely, Google will optimize, automatically all your ads, and then they'll just show, those that are converting better, but not necessarily the best one. So you need to set that up. That's in the campaign setups, okay? All right, so let me just show you the high-level diagram that we went through. So we talked about the beta campaign, and then we talked about the converting keywords. Next is we'll talk about alpha campaigns, right? So that's the diagram, and then let's just do a quickly what we covered today, all right? So we covered the blueprint parable, gather the golden goose optimization, all right? And then we also tackled the blueprint key concept number 1, alpha beta campaign structure, gather the golden goose, beta campaign purpose, and beta campaign best practices. All right, let's take a look at what we have in the next video. All right, so we'll talk about alpha campaign and the purpose. All right, and then we'll also talk about the blueprint key concept number 2. It's all about the alpha campaign. Single keyword ad groups in the alpha campaign. The structure, the keywords we'll use. The ads we'll use, and then the landing page we'll use. For alpha, single keyword ad groups. All right, I think that's it for today. Hopefully you like this. You learn a lot of things, and then we'll move forward with the next video. See you soon. All right.